So not only did that cost us Cubs ML last night, that just cost the Cubbies the season. I cannot believe they blew that 6-0 lead last night when I told everybody the Cubs ML was my most confident play. That was Musha. Give me the Ducks. I'm fading Colorado. Give me Oregon to win this game big and catch Colorado sleeping, coming in on their high horse thinking they could beat anybody. Well, they're about to get taught a lesson. That was the most Notre Dame melt I've ever seen.
So I don't know why we're rushing 3, even if we're short a guy. I don't know why linebackers are not playing up further on the line. I don't understand any part of it.
The Cowboys did it again. They lose to the freaking Cardinals.
That's a concerning game for sure from the Cowboys. The real meat on table play would be his completions. There's just not a line out for that yet, so I don't want to just pull a number out of my ass. But he's going to dink and dunk their way to a lot of completions and probably a lot of yards too.
Damn, brand new bag for pro, but I didn't pay for it. I don't like spending that cash because I'm trying.
What's going on, chat? Happy BTL Monday, episode 325 piece. As always, joined by your two co-hosts, Krabs and Javon, presented by Pickett Sports. If you guys aren't using Pickett Sports to track your bets, if you're not seeing all my bets, get logged in on Pickett Sports this weekend. You probably didn't have a great time. Go check it out. It's free, so easy to use, fire UI UX. Make sure you guys are using Pickett to track your bets and also join the least toxic sports betting community out there. Go out there, get your money, and track your winners while you're at it. All right, W's. Javon, what a weekend, my man. Holy smokes. We already got sub bangies coming in hot. Pulse bag, 10-month sub bangs. Segala 3 coming in hot with some sub bangs. We got R3TR coming in with sub bangs. Hovey coming in hot. Happy Monday, gentlemen. W's. Dilgod coming in hot with a sub bang. Brew Crew winning it all. We're going to talk about some MLB playoffs as well today, Javon. I don't hate that angle one bit. W chat, we got Wags Locks coming in, giving out 10 subbies from Wags.
W-Wags.
My goodness. Holy smokes. Let's go, Wags. W's, bro. Tail the Surge 6 and Hail Mary. Now I'm Jeff. If you tail the Surge 6 and the Hail Mary parlay, your bankroll is looking fat after the weekend. And we're going to go over all that today, folks. W's Trent cashed in a little goat whale action this weekend. Love to see it. Little surgical 6. Go well full fade, I believe. But the Surge 6, Javon smacked for Trent. Hilarious that you called him out and the LeBron James thing saying this will be LeBron's 4-piece parlay. Trent says, oh, you just sneak revealed the Surge 6 there early. Next thing you know, he ends up smacking it this week. So W's Trent, love to see it. And love to see the squad at Ole Miss this weekend as well on Saturday. What a game that was for them to be boots on ground, Javon. And they got to charge the field. Unbelievable. Yeah. Unbelievable. What a win there. Happy to see the squad, boots on ground, everybody on the same play there with Ole Miss, and they cashed. Love to see it. W's, Javon. I hope you had a pretty
Love
good
it.
weekend too, my man. I know you're in the middle of moving and stuff. Pretty busy times, but were you at least able to cash a couple winners as well?
A couple winners. Absolutely.
W's.
Especially shout out the Titans, which we'll talk about. That was my sneak biggest play of the weekend.
100%. It was always the Titans plus 2.5. What does Mike Vrabel do after he gets embarrassed? He wins. That's what that guy does, and he covers.
I didn't think it was going to be that bad. That was crazy.
My goodness, the Bengals are in trouble. It's time to sound the alarms, folks. Chat, here's what we're going to do today. We'll go over some of the weekend highlights. If we didn't have so many, it probably wouldn't take as long, but my goodness, it was a great weekend, and I really hope you guys tailed. I hope you're locked in, and you know that we're smacking NFL and college football plays left and right. And Javon, we had one heck of a weekend preview for college and NFL, and honestly, just our plays this weekend we gave out were elite. As Alec comes in and gives out a 10-piece. Hold the fly.
Let's go.
Let's go, Alec. 10-piece W's in chat. Nito
That's
for
some
my
Bucks
guy.
ML piece. Bucks ML piece with LeBron. LeSharp.
My goodness. Never in doubt. The Bucks coming back, getting a nice win there. We got Lenbong giving out a sub bang. Lenbong, never forget. We do it all for you, my man. And Ron Mux Clam as well. Death taxes and a Ron Mux Clam sub bang here early and often. W's, Ron. W, Alec. Can we get some W's in chat for my guy, Alec? He just gave out a 10-piece for the people. That's not cheap. All right. That's how I know we're doing something right. The vibes are up on this Monday after you guys absolutely cashed, hopefully, tailing most of our plays. And Javon, let's go ahead and dive right into it. The Five Guys entry, we were so freaking close, man. We were right there at the table. Unfortunately, Estime really didn't get anything going on the ground for the Irish in that game on Saturday, so we never even got to the table on Sunday. But 4 for 5, I believe. Is that what we closed at?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which, I mean, if we're gonna miss an entry, at least you're getting 2x on it. But yeah, I mean, the rest of those were air. Minus, I guess, B-Rob. B-Rob was sweaty, but that was a great play. It's not really a sweat-free type player. You got a 53.5 rush yard total, but yeah, everybody else was air. Shout out to Meat on Table, Kelsey not to score with a little kissy face, but yeah, 10 more estimate yards, and we were already having a pretty good weekend. But we might have been Jeff Senior.
Literally, we would be OG Jeff if we smacked that. Honestly, Javon, if we're going to not smack a 5-piece prize picks entry, maybe this was the weekend because we pretty much hit everything else. Let's go take a look at the Hail Mary parlay. And guys, we've only been doing these for 2 weeks. Second week running these. We're going to run these throughout the entire NFL season. My goodness, Javon, second time's a charm. We just smacked a plus 1,600 parlay for the people on Friday that we crafted up. I hope you guys stuck around for that 3-hour BTL on Friday. That was absolutely electric, and we really could not hop off because we were talking about so many winners. And it's good to see the results as well, Javon. We put in some serious effort. I know I for sure did after a dud the week before. I felt terrible. We hit the books hard, and we absolutely smacked a 5-piece. People in chat saying, how the fuck did I not see these? Well, we talked about it all day Friday. We posted it on Book It BTL on Twitter. I know most of you guys are following us, but make sure if you're not, that's where you got to check it out. And we need 3-hour BTL streams every Friday. Well, we need 1,000 people in here in chat, and growing the show as well. So if you guys keep sending the link out and getting your buddies in here to sweat out and talk some winners during the afternoon, we will keep working our asses off and finding you guys plus 1,600 parlays. Goodness gracious, Javon. W's. That's what I'm talking about as Took It With Brent comes in hot with the sub-bang W Friday, 17 months. We got Rep the Bets coming in hot. Guys, we got a hype train level 6. I don't think we've ever gotten one of those on a Monday. That's what I'm talking about. Love the energy, love the effort, love the focus. Let's keep winning, and let's keep working our asses off. All right, chat? Hope you guys paled. If you didn't, that's on you because we've been telling you we don't fuck around with football bets. And we just put up the results right there for you.
I mean, once we, or at least once I saw that Arkansas game sneak over, which, I mean, I thought that was going to be a very fluky game, and we got 3 non-offensive touchdowns in the second half there, and then the bomb by Arkansas to take it over. Once I know we had a lot of eggs in that basket when it came to that, when it came to the props, and then beat on table CFB play. Once I saw that go through the hoop, it was the vibes were up for the weekend. Thought it was going to end pretty well.
We're up. Could not have been higher. Let's go ahead and take a peep at how the squad rides did this weekend, Javon. I need a little jog my memory here, folks. Oh, that's 3 green beans. Would you look at that? We got the over in New York and Kansas City, which I believe had 9 runs in the first inning. We had a sweat-free, never in doubt over in A&M and Arkansas. Obviously, jokes there, but good to see some fluke shit going our way, Javon, and getting some serious, pick sixes, kick returns for touchdowns, the whole 9 yards. It took pretty much the entire kitchen sink to hit that over, but it smacked. And then we got blessed with an effortless, sweat-free Bills -3 on Sunday for a squad ride chat. That was air. It was never the Dolphins after putting up a 70-piece. It really was that easy.
It was.
It really was.
Yeah, that also was really anything in the squad ride poll for the NFL.
Yeah.
Those were all extremely
goodness. 4 for 4. Somebody call Wendy's. W's chat. And yes, we will talk some playoff baseball today, 100%. Let's go ahead and toot our own horn first, though, and talk about some of these games and some of these winners. Let's go ahead and take a peep at that A&M Arkansas game, Javon. You talked about it, plenty of fluke shit. And for once, it went our way, including this kick return or a touchdown, or I guess punt return. This is our guy as well. We took him on Prize Picks, his yards, which smacked. And he's also, returning kicks for us, Javon, and helping out with the over. So W's here, never in doubt.
Truth be told, if you didn't return that kick, they were probably going to run a majority of the clock out. So once I saw that, instantly hope returned. And then actually, KJ Jefferson in the offense, which really didn't do much the entire game. They found the spark. Yeah, a little Mima action there didn't hurt. So, yeah, that 100%. Was a wild game. Wild game.
Yep. And I don't think we have time to talk about Carlos Rodon being worse than Patrick Corbin, but if we did, I'd probably say that Carlos Rodon is worse than Patrick Corbin and his contract.
That's one of the worst starts in the MLB I have seen this season. Yeah. Probably the worst, to be honest. That was actually even as somebody who had coin on the over, that was embarrassing to watch. Yeah, it was terrible.
I mean, Javon, we got a level 7 hype train here, my man. We got 32 subbies that have been given up in the first 13 minutes of this stream. Holy shit. Paddlewalk coming in hot, giving out Chewy a sub bang. Low-key iCarly coming in hot with a sub bang. 17 months. W's. Let's go low-key iCarly. Guys, let's keep the vibes up. Let's keep the winners flowing. We're absolutely dialed in right now, chat. Let's go ahead and go to Auburn as its perception comes in with a 1-year sub bang. W's its perception. Love that. I appreciate you. Thanks for joining. Javon, Auburn almost won this game outright. If it wasn't for Brock Bowers being an absolute beast, they probably would have. Some serious heart from the Tigers there. My goodness.
Serious heart. I mean, that game was kind of everything that we've seen from Georgia so far this season. I mean, the fact that the last couple of weeks, or until the last couple of weeks, Carson Beck, I don't think has really used Brock Bowers to his full potential. You see what happens when he does. That man is absolutely ridiculous. And he's probably going to be the greatest tight end prospect we've seen in recent history. So what he did for them to win that game was ridiculous. But shout out to Auburn. Hanging in that game. Tough defense.
Yeah, they hung in there. They look pretty good, and that's a tough place to play. I don't care how good you are. I don't care what rank you are. They gave Georgia their all, and that game was weird. Let's keep moving and grooving. I'm going to mention Troy real quick because I want to talk about all the games that I've hit in my last 13 bets, consider they've all won, and we're going to get to that in a moment too. But Troy with some absolute legacies, Javon, against Georgia State, a team that's been very good to us this season, and we were very high on, program first, going 3-0 in program history, and then they go on to be 4-0 after beating Coastal. All-time letdown spot there. Troy smacked them in the mouth, and that bet was probably the freest one of the weekend, so I hope you guys tailed that. Definitely had some sneak U's on the Trojans who got it done. W's.
Yeah, W's. That was
had to shout him out.
Sharp call.
And then I know Estime, Javon, I know he didn't come through for the rush yards, but he sure as heck came through for Notre Dame spread. I mean, this was out of nowhere. I pretty much told my buddies who I was watching this with, we're going to need a breakaway touchdown here, and it's probably not going to come. Next thing you know, next play, he breaks away for a touchdown, 30 yards, and doesn't get tackled. We have some serious life. Sam Hartman does his majestic stuff there, and we end up smacking a little spread on the Irish, Mima, when they were losing this game with 35 seconds left. Unbelievable cover from the Irish.
They were lining up to settle for a field goal there and win the game there, but they didn't have to because Estime, despite having a little trouble all game, I mean, credit to the Duke defensive line. They're better than they've been all season against the rush with one of the better offensive lines and rushing attacks you're going to see in college football. But when push came to shove, Estime came through. So, I mean, shout out Notre Dame. 100%. They needed a win like that. So I was definitely standing on the platform preseason that USC is not going into South Bend and coming out with a win. And I'm doubling down, feeling extremely confident about that in 2 weeks.
Wow. Okay. Shout out Sam Hartman. He clutched up. They got a win. Estime with this big 30-yard run. It was always the Irish. As Tolerance comes in hot with a sub bang 1 month. W new face Tolerance. Appreciate you joining. Appreciate you subbing. We got Putin Loves Prize Picks coming in hot. Chat's been quiet with the crowd's chirps. Wonder why. And you know what? I hope some of the chirpers at least tailed my bets and they're just fucking with me and they cashed last night because I'm not a freak who roots against people in chat making money. I hope you guys all cashed and I hope you're all bought in at this point because if you don't see what we did this past weekend and you're not bought in, I don't know what to tell you. All right, plain and simple. Let's keep moving. Let's keep grooving here, Javon. Arizona almost won as well with a backup QB. Maybe it was a good thing that Jalen wasn't playing in that game, Javon. He's been playing through an injury all season, has not looked sharp. They finally benched him, and honestly, their offense looked much better, and they gave Washington and Penix a little bit of a skin. First time Washington had to play a real team kind of this year, and Arizona really gave them their hands full, Javon. Still impressed with Washington pulled out a win there, but how about Arizona and the Wildcats showing serious heart with the second-string QB?
Yeah. And I mean, it's scary to see this from them and then USC the last 2 weeks too, going to ASU and then going to Colorado where they struggled a little more than they should, especially towards the end of both of those games. Pac-12 is good. They are going to engulf themselves very, very soon. So like the conference schedule is going to be insane aside from just the games between Washington, Oregon, USC, and between the couple there, maybe Utah if Cam Rising comes back healthy, which God knows what's going to happen with that at this point. Wild. That's going to be so wild.
Wild. We are in for an electric, grand finale. You could call it for the Pac-12 before everybody, carries on to their new conference. I'm so excited to see how it plays out, Javon. And you know what? I'm still going to stick with what I talked about last week. Give me Oregon to come out in the Pac-12. I am so impressed by them week in and week out, and they were able to do against Colorado what USC was not able to do, and that's absolutely keep their foot on the gas and slam the door shut right on Mima's face.
Yeah.
I mean, Colorado almost came back and won that game against USC. My goodness.
Yeah. That was, I'd say by far the most impressive game they played this season. It's not even close.
It was, and you know what? Shedeur Sanders will probably be the number one overall pick next year. And that kid is really fucking good. He is. If Colorado had a good O-line and a good D-line, I honestly could see them actually winning important games this season. But they're not there yet. They're going to continue to get better recruits in the trenches going forward. But, man, if they had a good line on both sides of the ball, that team could actually win games that mattered against real teams. They're close.
I mean, they're close. It's just next year will be the year for them. It's just they're a little borderline right now with the issues, obviously on defense, but like O-line. There's very few teams that he's going to have an abundance of time to go through his progressions like that against now. So, that was impressive, though. Love that.
100%. We got Chase coming in, giving out 5 subbies. Let's go, Chase. W, I know you're being corked today, but I really appreciate you coming in, giving out 5 subbies to the community. You're my guy, Chase. W's. We got Swizzle Sauce coming in hot with a subby. Cool Canes Dude 29, sub banging as well for 9 months. Love to see it. Let's keep moving and grooving, folks. Let's talk about some NFL action from the weekend. How about the Jags coming through in the survivor pool, coming through on the spreads? And how about the Toy Story game, Javon? What are your thoughts on the Toy Story game? I know it started out a little slow. Definitely had, the engineers, working them to death in the first half because they did start to get it going in the second half. And it honestly was kind of fun to watch. But I was just geeking at Booger's big-ass head in the pregame intro. I was like, geez, these gummies already kicked in already? I honestly had a pretty good time watching this. I didn't keep it on the big screen the whole time. I did in the beginning. They kind of flopped. We knew there was going to be some bullshit with making it run smoothly in the beginning. I probably could have guessed it wouldn't, but the second half was honestly kind of fun, and it looked pretty realistic, at least for where the guys were moving because we had it on a second TV. I'm in for any type of, BS like this. I think this is fun. You get other, groups involved. What I'm not in for is showing Taylor Swift every 3 seconds during an NFL game and acting like she's about to put on a helmet and pads and gloves and go out there and run routes next to Travis Kelce and give him a kiss on the cheek after. Because that's what the NFL is doing. And it just ruined the game for me last night. I don't know if that was for anybody else, but Sunday Night Football sucked last night because they weren't talking about football. I feel like I was watching an episode of The Frickin' Bachelor. Guys, I watch football so I get away from the pop culture, so I get away from all the gossip and all the stuff I don't give a shit about. And now it's in football. It's the one thing we had, sports. ladies and gents, to get away from all this bullshit. And now it's creeping in. Are we going to let this happen? Are we going to let them get away with it? Because that last night episode, I mean, it was clear their agenda was to just continuously talk about shit that I don't really care about. I want to hear about the Chiefs. I want to hear about Zach Wilson and the Jets. I want to hear about the football game. I don't give a fuck who is standing there in the crowd unless it's Jesus Christ himself. If it's not, let's go ahead and talk about the game, folks, because that shit was annoying as hell. And this isn't even the Steam Crab segment. This is just me getting pissed off and talking about how shitty that game was last night because of Taylor Swift.
Yeah, little sneak Steam Crabs. Sneak Steam Crabs.
Yeah,
I mean that
honestly,
that was a glaze off between all the times they're showing Taylor Swift, and then anytime Patrick Mahomes would breathe, you'd have Collinsworth glazing the shit out of him. So it was a competition. That was honestly a closer game than the game itself. So it sucked to watch, especially like when they had that little segment before the game even started about Taylor Swift. I was like, man,
dude, the game was ruined
before
it was even on. And I get it. I know what they're doing. It's probably smart. They're having people get eyeballs on these games that they haven't before because I guess she's dating Travis Kelce now, and that's why people are turning the TVs on. I don't know. I get what they're doing. And W tweet here from our guy Goats, your husband doesn't know the spread. Ooh, how about it? And by the way, I have no qualms with that slide. And anybody who thinks that slide was stupid, guys, that should be what every single player does in that situation. That's how you win the game. In my opinion, Patrick Mahomes doing that cool slide and getting up and celebrating was cooler than him scoring a touchdown there in that spot, not just because my Jets bet cashed, but because he did something even harder than just going in there, simple-minded and scoring a touchdown when that's not the best thing for the team. Patrick Mahomes with that slide ended the game. The game was over.
Yeah.
That's even better than a touchdown. And if you guys can understand that, you don't know that Patrick Mahomes is the GOAT or you don't know ball. He did the right thing. It was respectful, right? You don't need to run up the score, although it was a one-possession game. But, guys, that's what you're supposed to be doing. I feel like football's gotten away from this because, incentives and, everybody wants their clout. And, I've seen this more with just interceptions, Javon. 10 years ago, somebody makes a pick at the end of the game. They're on the ground before you can even see they made the pick, and the game's over. Now it's, somebody makes a pick and they're running around the fields like Mike Vick and, the college football video game where they're going to try to get in the end zone because they want to get their incentives. They want to get on TV, SportsCenter Top 10. I don't blame them. Maybe I would do the same if I was in that spot, but I'm not, so I'm going to chirp at them about it. This is what you do to win football games. This is why the Chiefs are who they are. This is why Mahomes is the GOAT. Guys, this is how you win the game. He sealed it up, and it's more impressive than getting in the end zone, in my opinion.
Yeah, 100%. That's what you got to do to win the game. That's the only you can take them to, I think Donovan Major Matt had the tweet. It was like he took them from 99.9% to 100% win probability with the slides. Like, it's football. People got to relax.
Yep. I'm with you, Javon. And we do have some weekend recap graphics we got to show from the segments from last week, Javon. We'll get to them once we finish up this NFL talk. The Bears also came through last night. Was not, pretty in the second half, at least, for them winning the game. They kind of did fold there towards the end. But how about Justin Fields looking a little bit better in the air? And how about the Bears covering that plus 3.5? W hook there I got. Either way, though, chat, you guys would have pushed if you tailed, and we feel good with that. But a little bit better from Justin Fields. He could still go out there and do that. He could still go out there and win teams' games. He's just got so much work to do, and the picks are a concern, and I don't think he's in a good situation where a guy like Fields can shine. If Fields wants to be good, he needs to go to a team with a Bill Belichick. He needs to go to a team with an Andy Reid, and he's not going there. That's not happening, okay? With this coaching staff, what is he going to continuously improve or get better at? Who the hell is teaching him how to be better on the Bears, offensive coaching staff? Nobody. So this is a nice little flash in the pan, and it was a good sharp bet we took. But let's not say that we're buying back in on the Bears and believe on them, especially when they got a date with the Commanders in D.C. on Thursday night.
I'm buying back in.
Wow. Okay.
I don't think they're going to be it's going to be a game-changing team, but at least in terms of I think you're going to see more performances like this, especially the schedule they have coming up. Yeah, Commanders that'll be a super weird game on the road Thursday night against a defense that I still kind of believe in. Then you go Vikings, Raiders, Chargers, Saints are tough, then Panthers. This is where I think he can pick it up. It's not necessarily going to change anything about the season because I still think they're going to lose some of those games, kind of be like this game, but as far as not being embarrassingly bad from a Justin Fields perspective, he's going to start to look good. DJ Moore stock, continue to buy that too. If you're fantasy or prize pick line people.
Views. And also got to shout out your Bucks, you and Phillip. Got to be feeling pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, that team confuses the shit out of me, man. Confuses the shit out of me. They're impossible to figure out. Baker Mayfield is doing what he can do. I mean, shout out the Saints. They suck. Derek Carr sucks. That division might run through the Bucks just by default because none of those teams can really figure it out to a high level. And shout out you for being a little optimistic about them. So we'll see. I'm kind of excited. They are going through a pretty rough patch of the schedule come the next handful of weeks. So we'll see. They ain't beating the Lions and they ain't beating the Bills in Buffalo. I'll tell you that much. But we'll see how they can be against some of the worst teams. And I guess everybody in the division too. Still haven't gotten to play the Moose Shit Panthers. So see how that works.
Honestly, you got to be feeling pretty good. And Baker Mayfield, I think, deserves some apologies from some people.
He does.
I'm not saying you. I'm just saying overall.
I don't believe in him either. So I mean, if I continue to see this, I'll be the first one to do it. And I'm excited to do it. I'm interested to see though what this offense consistently looks like potentially without Mike Evans, because not that obviously, I mean, as a fan, but even as a bettor, that we're rooting for injuries. But part of the cap with that guy is the fact that he's made of glass, and now we're starting to see it with a hamstring, which is kind of scary. So I mean, I love Chris Godwin, but Chris Godwin wide receiver 1 with Trey Palmer, who I really do like, but I'm not sure he's ready to be a number 2 option there. We'll see how it works.
We got Alex F coming in with a sub bang. How about them Bears? W cover. Good teams win. Great teams cover, Alex, and your team was great this weekend. W's. We got Crutch Bets coming in hot with a sub bang. W show. W Crutch Bets. Appreciate the subbing. Cool Canes dude. Already shouted you out, but I'll do it again. Appreciate you as well. CJ Stroud, stud, absolute beast. Steelers are overrated. Guys, CJ Stroud, the stuff I'm hearing about this kid, taking his O-line out to dinner every night since he's gotten to camp. This kid is a winner. He did it in college. There was something about watching that kid play in college where I just knew he was going to be legit. He finds ways to win. He comes clutch in big moments. And he's doing it again. Javon, you could not ask for a better start to a career than what CJ Stroud's doing and what he's working with. I'm not saying he doesn't have a couple weapons, but let's not act like he's playing on the fucking Chiefs or like he's playing on the Dolphins with their receivers and their running backs. My goodness, he's doing this with the Texans, and he looks unbelievable. I think they found their QB of the future, and also Anthony Richardson deserves his flowers. He looks much better than I expected, too. That I didn't expect. Stroud, I knew was like that, and Bryce Young, I said from the start he was not going to be good, at least on that Panthers team, and he's not. If that's not clear after last week, I don't know what is. But my goodness, C.J. Stroud and Richardson deserve some flowers. These young guys are going to be problems in the league for the next decade.
100%. I mean, the Texans are awesome. Absolutely awesome. And CJ Stroud's been fantastic, and it's behind an offensive line that's been missing pretty much every starter for a majority of the season so far. So, that makes it even more impressive. Until this week, too, they really didn't have any sort of established running game, which Dameon Pierce was 10 carries for 30 yards the first 3 games. This week, he finally broke out. Shout out him for that. But he's just impressive. This team's impressive. Nico Collins is awesome. Tank Dell is awesome. The defense has been better than you could have even hoped for. So, if it's not the Titans coming out of the AFC South, which I still think they'll be up there at the end of the year because of Mike Vrabel, Texans will be right up there too. Still sticking to it's not going to be the Jags.
And that defense is not as Moose Shit as they were last season. Not even close.
Not even close. They're good. They're good. Oh, those matchups in division between those 4 teams are going to be awesome. They're going to be chess matches.
100%. And that's what's going to decide the conference or the division. 100%.
Yeah,
they're going to all beat up on each other. They all are capable of that. And don't sleep on the Texans, especially in those red unis. Those are fresh. Love the helmet. Yeah. Love the socks and the jersey. That's an elite slept-on uniform. And also, Collins is a beast. What a fantasy day from him this Sunday. It was always him and never Tank. W's. All right, folks, let's go ahead and flash up the college football weekend recap. We're going to show you guys the losers, the winners here real quick. I think I went 2-3. Yep, 2-3. It was never the BT under. It was always the Hokies alt line -7. They got it done. How about Drones? Actually playing well. Had one of the highest QBRs in football this week. I'll believe it when I see it if he does it in week 2. But let's also not act like this guy's had plenty of opportunities to prep and, develop some sort of rapport with his receivers or, put himself in a spot where he can showcase himself and get better. He really hasn't, so maybe he will be better than Grant Wells. You really can't be worse. Cal team total, that lost by a touchdown. That was a shit bet. I'm done with this team. Sam Jackson stinks. The whole squad does. I'm out. Sorry, Javon, respectfully. They're just not it, folks. They're not.
He's got to give him time. I think that quarterback situation is really fucking with them. They need a couple weeks with Sam Jackson consistently there before they really start clicking.
Yeah. I'll buy in on Sam Jackson next season, but right now I'm so out.
Yeah.
And they've cost us so many coins, but I still think he could be good. But right now it's just not it. Kentucky, they got it done, although it got sketchy at the end. They came through. Now we have an elite game this coming weekend, Georgia and Kentucky. I'm super excited. Georgia's still laying like 21 points with how good Kentucky's been, and they're coming in undefeated. So that can be sketchy, but that's some serious respect for Georgia. Coastal Carolina came back, but they ended up losing by 10. That was a new shit bet. And Auburn also getting it done on the meat on tape. And Javon, you went 3-2 this week, cashing your meat on tape play with that over. We ended up making the squad rock W's.
Yeah, that was huge. I mean, that game was nuts. Very thankful I went with the first half under. I had a feeling that something was going to happen later in that game with Georgia coming back like they always do. And what do you know? It's exactly what happened. I think it landed on 47, snuck over 45 and a half. So first half under, Auburn's defense. Shout out to them. Kansas Texas over is so unfortunate because, I mean, Jalen Daniels getting ruled out 5 minutes before the game because he re-aggravated his back injury kind of sucked.
Brutal.
Is what it is. That game's still almost me-mod, but Kansas offense just could not do enough with Jason being there. SMU is bad. They had every single chance in that game to cover. Ridiculous penalties, but they didn't. USF beat the troops. First road win for USF since 2019. So that's if we're talking about dog of the week, I think that one might take the cake. They look good. Yeah. I'm excited to start backing this team.
Slow start. I got to gas my mids somehow, I guess. Slow start. The mids won that first quarter. Sure.
They did.
But great bet there, and I knew looking at that line that you were on the right side. I couldn't do it myself. I'm a Navy guy, but great wager. And Navy, I guess the sports books have not done their due diligence on that team because they probably won't be getting 3.5 points against anybody the rest of the year.
Yeah, I think it's half. I think it's half them and half USF. I think USF. I mean, like I said, that was first road win since 2019. So like you're not going to get on the road at least that much line respect consistently. So I think you're going to see that. I think they're on the road this week again, and the line looks kind of short. I'll be backing them. They're good. All
right. Going back to UCF and then W meat on tape plays. Let's pivot to NFL real quick before we look at the MLB playoff chart or bracket, and then we're going to go over Monday Night Football chat. So tempo and pace here. Slow start for the kid, but closed with 5 winners here, folks. W, NFL Sunday. Javon, you did a little bit more on the college day carrying there, but either way, we can't complain. Overall, winning weekends. And guys, I hope you tailed my actual freaking plays that I posted on Pickett and on Twitter. Didn't end up locking in every single play that was from the weekend preview. That's more of a preview like we talk about, but you know where the card's at. You know where my bets are at on Pickett when I'm not traveling. They're all on there. And you also know I post all of my plays. So legacy weekends, to be honest with you, I feel really weird. I don't really know what to do right now because I have won my last 14 bets in a row. I guess that also includes the Jordan Love more than 1.5 passing touchdowns or less than 1.5 passing touchdowns I put on the books for Thursday. And I didn't officially give out Cincinnati on Friday or place it, but I know I talked about it enough where I'm still going to say, maybe we count that as a loss. So we'll start with this weekend on Saturday, starting then with the squad ride over in the college football game, Javon. 13 bets in a row. What the fuck do I do right now? I think I got to cut it down and try to draw this streak out as long as I can, maybe one play a day. And we see how long we can
proceed with caution. I mean, lucky for you, it's not like we have a full slate of baseball or anything.
Today could be a good day to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, today's a good day to cut it down and see how you kind of bounce back from it. So, yeah, good shit. Locked.
Yep. And, yes, people are asking me, and my answer is yes, Pega, I do feel like LeBron James tonight. And let's not sleep on LeBron also giving out some winners this weekend. I'm sure we all tuned into the live, and we all geeked about LeBron being up there giving NFL analysis. If you didn't, you don't have a sense of humor. But the guy kind of gave out some winners. What the fuck?
It's kind of locked, yeah.
W LeBron. Hilarious. I would love to see LeBron's card every single weekend. If he's doing lives, giving out his plays. I mean, that's absolutely hysterical, and I'm in. weekend for LeBron, W weekend for me. There could be a correlation there.
Could be. You could be LeBron. I
we
would
got a
sub to
flash.
be the VIP.
The VIP. Yes, Chad. I'm thinking about maybe going corp, maybe going VIP brain. No, I would never do that. I can't even joke about it. Let's flash up the prize picks board real quick. We got to show the people the winners. Javon, it's been my best prize picks week of my entire life. It's not even really close. Another absolute bag last night. Shout out Logan Thomas coming through. Javon, Damian Pierce, your square cashed. They put up that Raheem Mostert square. Maybe not right before the game, but definitely was not up in the AM. And as soon as I saw that, I knew that I had to nuke the less than. And then Travis Kelce also coming through. Smacked plenty of slips. Guys, I'm not showing this to just be up here on my high horse and talk about all the winners from the weekend. I want to show you results because all you guys hear is the bad stuff. There's a reason I do this full time. I'm not fucking around and I don't suck at betting football. This is what I do. I hope you guys are tailing. I hope you don't actually listen to the weirdos in chat who wish they were me, who chirp at any moment they can when there's a loser. And I hope you listen to the actual results like we're doing up on here in front of hundreds of people showing you guys the actual slips. I'd take my credibility over the others who just wish they were up here. They're not. I am. And let's keep cashing bets. W's. Javon. We got to talk about the MLB playoffs and go over the bracket real quick. And yes, we have to talk about Monday Night Football and the Giants and Seahawks in that line flip. Do you want to start with the playoffs or should I blow off some steam real quick about Ron Rivera probably being the worst coach in NFL history? You still think we got time for that?
Yeah, we got some time. We got a little bit.
Okay. Let's go ahead and dive right into it, folks, because I'm still scratching my head. Might as well talk about this first. I mean, guys, this was a catch. Dudes, if you're able to scroll this up just a little bit more, that would be elite. I don't know if you guys can see this, but there's actually some space in between between Terry McLaurin's toe and the out of bounds line. And they only showed this clip once during the game because they probably wanted to show people the other angle because they probably want the Eagles to be 5-0 and, going for another NFC title. But this is bullshit. There's a picture right here of Terry McLaurin's foot in bounds with green in between. And that's not what I'm bitching about. Okay, let's go ahead and progress through this game. And W Sam Howell and W Commanders for showing serious heart in this game and looking much better after a blowout last week. Sam Howell could be him. He's still making throws that only a handful of quarterbacks can at times. And if we can eliminate the mistakes and if he can get out of his progressions and reads like he did yesterday, we could be in business, folks. But that's not what this Steam Crab segment is about. It's about the Manders going down the field and actually getting a chance to win this game at the last second in electric fashion. W Clutch Gene from Sam Howell, W Eric Bieniemy, leveling up our organization and making us a legitimate contender going forward because this offense, new and improved, Javon, I'm liking what I'm seeing. And I haven't seen this type of play calling in my entire life as a Commanders fan. So we finally get the ball in the end zone out of some miracle, Javon. And I'm thinking to myself, this is Riverboat Ron. He's sitting there with his arms crossed like he always does. And you know what he's about to call up. They're about to go for 2 here. Ron Rivera goes for 2 all the time. He's Riverboat Ron. This guy likes to go for it. They play to win. He's talked about this before when people ask him, why did you go for it and why'd you lose? He says he plays to win. Well, Javon, in this case, I guess he wasn't playing to win. I don't know. But they ended up kicking an extra point, thinking they could potentially beat the Eagles in overtime after we barely even got there. Anyone with half a brain knows that the Commanders probably should have went for 2 in that spot because we're probably not going to beat the Eagles in overtime. They're just a better team. But you know what? We go to OT. We actually get the ball first, and there's some fluke shit with some refs. But you know what? Jake Elliott does what he always does, and that's find a way to beat us. He did it again. This guy's absolutely cracked, just like Graham Gano. I don't think I've ever seen either of them miss a kick against the Manders, Javon. But we lose the game, and I'm asking myself, I'm not even mad we lost. I'm mad we didn't go for it. So I know the DC media is about to ask Ron Rivera, who goes for it all the time, why the hell didn't you go for it today, my man? This is the time to do it. If you're going to go for some shit, you do it in this spot against a better team on the road, and you end it with the momentum because you finally just tied it up somehow, some way. Well, you know what he said, Javon? You know what his excuse was? Why they didn't freaking go for 2 in that spot? He said the boys were a little gassed. He said the Manders were a little tired after that drive down the field, to potentially tie the game up or win. Yeah, but you know what? These guys were really gassed. They really were. It was a long-ass drive. They hurried. They were hustling. They were tired. I have never seen a lazier, sorrier excuse from a coach of an NFL team in my entire life. Not only does this look like shit, it looks made up. It looks like you didn't have your shit together during the game. And this tells me and confirms everything I already know. Ron Rivera has lost his fastball. He has. This guy got carried by Cam Newton into a Super Bowl. That's the only reason people think he's a great coach. They always bring up the Cam Newton run. Guys, did you watch Cam Newton that season? He could have had a chimpanzee as his head coach, and they'd still go to the fucking Super Bowl. That guy wasn't losing. Are you kidding me? If it's not clear now that Ron Rivera is not a good head coach and does not know how to coach in the biggest moments, I don't know what is, because you just saw him make the most bonehead move of all time and cost us a chance to defeat the Eagles and carry some monumental momentum into Thursday Night Football and potentially finding a way to be in first place in the division if some fluke shit happens next weekend. I don't get it. This is shitty coaching. Even non-Manders fans can agree with me here that you go for it in that spot. And I'm tired of Ron Rivera getting gassed up like he's a good head coach. And I'm tired of Ron Rivera costing us games. Oh, Ron Rivera says the team's tired. That's why they can't go for it. Well, you know what, Ron? I'm tired of you losing us games, motherfucker. You stink as a head coach, and we need Bieniemy running the show because you have proven season in, season out that you do not have your fastball, and maybe you never had it. Get Ron Rivera out of D.C. I'm fed up with him. He's a shit head coach.
Yeah. I mean, as a big dog on the road in Philly, and, I mean, Riverboat Ron doesn't go for two. Like, I mean, was the Eagles defense not play the same drive as the offense? Are they just full of juice? They're not tired either?
I don't get it.
This
guy goes for it in every moment and says, you know why we went for it and don't win? Because we play to win. We're not playing to tie. He says that after every fucking interview when he's gone forward in the past and then lost when they go for two. Now you flip it and say they're tired? Ron, I'm tired of you being a shitty coach, man. Get the hell out of here. It's a new regime, new time in D.C. We're starting to win games. We're fun. We're looking good. And you're holding us back. Get him out of here. Straight up. Atrocious coach.
I was pissed.
Atrocious
I was
coach.
really hoping they would have gone for it and gotten it there. That would have been so electric. But
yeah,
I mean,
and you know what? With the momentum of getting in the end zone and with the Eagles' backs against the wall, I think we fucking would have gotten it.
Yeah, honestly, I do too. And I got to say, though, I mean, moral victory of that game. I mean, I loved what I saw from the Commanders. I'm a Sam Howell believer. I've told you that. I'm not just sitting up here slurping the Commanders because you slurp the Commanders. I genuinely believe in the guys. So to see that performance on the road against the Eagles, that was pretty encouraging. So I'm excited to watch them the rest of the season.
I am too. And Javon, I just saw an opportunity where we could go 3-1 in an NFC East that's a little bit weaker than people thought, and we blew it. And it's not even our players' faults. It's our coach's fault. That's the worst part. He's holding us back. Get him out of D.C. Let's move and talk about some MLB playoff predictions. Javon, we got to keep this to 5 minutes. And Chad, I promise we'll talk about the MLB playoff breakdown tomorrow on BTL for at least 30 minutes. But today, wanted to give a quick sneak peek here, Javon. Go over some matchups you like real quick. And then also, we got to show the people the BTL Goat Whale that smacked because it's officially green and it's looking beautiful, chaps. It hasn't gotten graded yet. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow, but
no, it has. Just did.
Oh, it just did.
Just did.
Can we get eyes on that?
Yeah, Goots, you can pull up the tweet.
Wow. Let's go, chat. It's official. Bring back that damn coin. What an investment that was before the season, Javon. Holy smokes. Goat Whale W's, season-long Meg W's, whatever you want to call it. I don't give a shit. That's a 6-piece green geyser that we crafted up. Great work.
Incredible. We love to see that. Love to see the coins hitting the accounts. It's huge.
Holy smokes. Dude, zoom in a little bit towards the top sector. I want to see that payout real quick.
Zoom into the that one was a normal one, you guys are. You can go to the right. Go to the right and go to the other one. The community one. That was the bigger guy.
Let's go. The community entry. And if you were in here in chat and you gave one of these picks in the spaces before the season, I fucking love you. And your work does not go unnoticed. I don't remember who gave every square, but Javon, that is 1,000 to win 10K. Absolute nuke. And the coins return home. That's what I'm fucking talking about, dude. 10 racks, chat. You guys ever seen that before? Holy smokes.
Still can't believe Corey Seager missed as many games as he did and still soared over. That's legacies. And I know the square under him was potentially the freest square that's ever been on the Prize Picks board. Wonder who brought that one in.
Unbelievable work, ladies and gents. We were dialed in for the MLB season-long entries. I'm not going to jinx our NFL ones that are active or the college ones, but knock on wood, they're looking pretty sharp so far. Let's pray that those look good and keep progressing and that we don't get any injury fluke shits. And let's keep Cash and Javon and working our asses off to find people winners. When you get to show the people slips like this, it's nice to see the results come to fruition. And you get to flash it up on the screen and show the people that all the hard work does pay off. And maybe we do know ball a little bit. W's.
Might have to consult with the Chell Lords and craft up an NHL.
We're gonna need some assistance on that one, folks.
Yeah, I can already tell you. I do know one square. It's auto going in there. Talk about
that. Okay. All right.
It's like your judge under home runs, pretty much.
Ooh. I'm in.
I know you're in.
I don't even care who it is. I'm in. If it's like that. All right. Javon, let's take a peep at the playoff predictions. I want you to give me your wild card series you're most excited for, and I want you to give me your World Series champion.
Well, I'll tell you World Series champion first. I am not switching up for a second from preseason, from middle of the season, from wherever. Sticking with the Doyers. I think they're the ones to get it done here. I think they're the sneaky team kind of out of the NL. Everybody knows that kind of you penciled in the Phillies, which I don't think you really can do. I think the Marlins are going to be pesky, but you pencil in the Phillies-Braves series to be pretty much the NL pennant game. I don't think that's the case. So I think the Dodgers are going to do it, which is sketchy to think about on paper because of their rotation, but sticking with them. I think they're going to do it. But series I'm honestly most excited to see is a surprising one. I'm excited to see the Twins Blue Jays. We talk about the wild card round. I think if we're talking AL teams, the Twins have a very sneaky lineup, a lineup that when they go up against the Blue Jays pitching staff that largely they match up pretty well with. And even if they get to the Astros, again, largely I think they match up pretty well with. And the Astros pitching staff has been pretty lackluster, I guess you can say at times, really outside of the couple Framber masterclass, the one no-hitter and the almost no-hitter, and then a sneak Verlander start here and there. They've been bad. Haven't lived up to expectations. The Twins bats, I think, are one of the most underrated groups of bats in the entire postseason. So I want to see how they perform, if they can get to the Jays kind of early and often there, especially against Gausman, game one, who they've seen a couple of times and made his life hell. So I'm excited to see them. I wouldn't be shocked to see them make a run at all.
Oh, you're talking about the Twins and Matt Wallner, huh? Those boys.
Yeah, Matt Wallner. I already saw the King Julian leadoff home run off of Gausman in game one.
Ooh,
Wallner Legacies follows it up.
Well, Javon, we're going to pivot and talk some Monday Night Football here while we craft up the squad ride, but I wouldn't hate either team who comes out of that top left sector, whether it's Toronto finally showing up with the roster they have to be competitive in a playoff series with their, front end of their starting rotation that should easily be able to compete at least, led by Gausman, or whether it's the scrappy Twins, who nobody talks about or cares about because they're not flashy, but they're here. And I wouldn't be shocked to see either one of those teams knock off Houston this season, who I think has lost their fastball a little bit too. Not the typical Houston team that I see finding ways to win night in, night out. I think they're getting a little older. Their rotation's taking a step back. I think Toronto or the Twins will end up beating Houston in that round and then going on to potentially beat the Rays, who will find a way to upset the Rangers, will find a way to upset the Orioles, and find a way to maybe even upset Toronto and the Twins, whoever comes out of there, to go into a World Series, Javon. I'm not giving up.
I bet. I'm
not. That left side of the bracket is sketch. All those teams are so inconsistent, and there's no true real GOAT. Everyone's got their flaws. The Orioles' first real postseason. I mean, if you think they're getting out of that round, I don't know if you've watched the postseason the last couple of years. That's going to be nearly impossible with all those guys going into a playoff for the first time. I don't know if I want my coins on.
Yeah, it's going to be sketchy. I don't believe in the Orioles necessarily, but I have my Rays concerns for sure. They're just not healthy, so I'm scared. Scared. And yes, Chad is spamming pour one out for the Reds. They got so close. I got to respect it. They had the they're plus 5 or 5,500 preseason to make the playoffs, which we obviously snagged at midseason at 2,500, 2,000. They had the most innings played by rookies by 3 times the second place team. and they ended up out of the postseason by a game and a half. So I mean, that was a fun little ride. I got to respect them. Respect them. It was a fun sweat. Won a lot of coins off them betting anyway. So shout out to them. I really wish they could have got in though. That would have been a lot of coin coming home and exciting. So honestly, as much as I love the pitching matchups potentially there with the Brewers and D-backs, that series kind of sucks. It's a boring series.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Are the D-backs going to fold like they always do? Will the Brew Crew, will their pitching rotation carry them enough with that Mooshit lineup? I don't know, but those are two sketchy teams in the top right sector there. In chat, I promise we will do an in-depth dive, not only for the MLB playoffs, but I think Javon knows the people, a proper red send-off tomorrow as well. Javon, they did their job, okay? They impressed me, at least. When you gave that pitch, I obviously listen to everything you say, and I know that you're sharp, and, I was higher on the Reds than I was before, but I think I was in the same mindset with everyone else saying, Don's taking a team like the Reds to make the playoffs. That's a new shit wager. Well, chat, see how far they've got. And you know how much, juice, or how many, you got to have some serious stones to give out a Reds to make the playoffs future, Javon. That's not just taking a crummy team to make the playoffs. That's taking a shit organization, and they almost fucking did it. So I tip my cap to you for giving that play out. I tip my cap to the Reds for making it weird and close. And, you said it yourself, all rookies. Who's to say they don't come back next year with maybe a better pitcher or two and make some noise?
Yeah. Shit. Even if they were healthy coming out of the stretch of the season, they didn't even have pitching. They would have gotten close. And
I got some Yankees caps I can send you. Yeah, go ahead and send those my way. I live at 69. The Yankees fucking below Ave. All right.
There we go.
I'm in Virginia.
And this was hilarious too. Votto getting thrown out. That's like the perfect Joey Votto send out for his last game. Getting ejected.
It's the most Joey Votto shit of all time. I tweeted about it last night. I said there's only one guy that would do this, get thrown out of his last game. It's Joey Votto, the weirdest player in all baseball.
Perfect. So perfect.
Unbelievable. I think he kind of felt bad because I know a lot of fans probably brought their kids to that game, but we
Yeah.
got Joey Votto getting ejected in the last game. First of all, the refs should literally keep him in the game and not throw him out. I don't care what he says to him in that spot, unless it's something like disgustingly bad. But keep Joey Votto in that game. Let's have some awareness, folks. It's his last fucking game of his career. I don't care if he's tripping you. You leave him in there. Also, Joey Votto, what are you doing arguing in your last game?
Yeah.
Just go out there and play, man. Do your send-off, tip your cap. What are we doing? I don't get it. And you know what? We'll leave the people with this, and we'll talk about these series more in depth tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised if the Fish catch the Phillies sleeping. They know that team pretty well. Nobody's talking about the Marlins and that young rotation. And Luis Arias at the top. They've got some heavy hitters as well. Don't count the Marlins out just yet. We'll leave it there for MLB. All right, Javon. Let's go to squad rides. I've got a play that I really like tonight, and it's not ideal. You can probably guess what it is. It's the big blow. Give me the 2 points. Javon, we might need them. Typically, I don't like betting against, 3-point spread moves, 3-point line moves, especially when it's, flipping from a favorite to a dog. But I don't give a shit. Everyone on earth is betting Seattle. Everyone's looking at this game on paper saying the Giants have been up 30 straight points in 3 straight games. Their defense is moose. Daniel Jones, although he's shined at times, has not really put it together, and that offense has been missing Saquon recently, and I don't think he's coming back to that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but pretty sure they're rolling with Breida. So I'm going to go ahead and buy the bad news there and buy the Giants here at home, who will find somehow, some way to keep this game close and probably win it. I don't hate the ML either, Javon, but it's got to be a nasty play here on the 1-2 team who opened up a favorite against Seattle. I care more about the opener here in this spot than I do that movement. We know the line's going to move towards Seattle when they have 80% of bets on them.
Yeah, 100%. And we'll probably be investing in the Giants as well. I think very few or far and few in between have I gone to the grave with this man, but I think Danny Dimes masterclasses today. I'll be having him mostly as fantasy score, but I'm going to throw his passing yards and that 1.5 pass rush receiving touchdown and a couple of slips against the Seahawks defense that has been absolutely atrocious, especially in the secondary. So when you have no Saquon, obviously you have Breida in there now in a run game that's been mostly non-existent. I think it's going to be non-existent today. I don't think Breida has much of a great game against that front seven. So it's going to be Danny Dimes a lot with his arm, especially if you've been looking at some of the lines over the past week here, even the last couple of days. they've been ticking up. They've been ticking up for a reason. Danny Dimes is going to be slinging the ball. If you want to take his over pass attempts as well, I mean, you can take a lot of props for this guy, in my opinion, today. But I think he's going to absolutely show out today. I think he runs one end with his legs as well, which is good for the touchdown and fantasy squares. But I think he tears that secondary up.
Okay. Is there a DJ square you want to put in for the squad ride? Because I'm obviously down to tail that angle. I think he plays well today too. I think we put the Giants +2 in there as well. But any squares you want to throw their hat in the ring?
Yeah, I mean, my favorite square, I don't know if we want to make it PP specific or not. That's, I guess, a question. But my favorite square would probably be his fantasy score.
Ooh, okay. All right. More than 17 fantasy score?
Yeah, but I mean, if we don't want to keep it PP specific and we want to
maybe we pick something that people could take somewhere else if they wanted to.
I would say passing yards is what I would take there too.
230.5.
Yep.
Okay. We'll roll with that. Guys, I wish we had more plays today, but we really don't. So we're just diving in, trying to find winners for the Monday Night Football game here. Would not mind also putting in his, passing touchdowns as well if people want to vote for that, Javon.
Yeah.
Thoughts on that?
I'm taking the pass. It's pass rush receiving. That's on PP.
Really?
Yeah. I think the 1.5, I would assume, is you're getting like heavy plus money juice on the over.
Okay. You want to take the one with Tyler Lockett, rush plus receiving?
Tyler Lockett, rush plus receiving.
He's got a rush plus receiving, half a touchdown with Tyler Lockett.
Ooh, I don't think. Maybe it was. It could be a new one though. But yeah, I don't hate that one at all.
I wouldn't mind backing Darius Slayton today either. I still think he's the best receiver on this team, and I think if DJ is going to be smacking his yards, he's probably going to either go over his fantasy score, or since he's not a big touchdown guy, maybe we just go his receiving yards. But I could see him getting a 50 pace in this game. I still think he's underrated, and I still think he's the best receiver on this team.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate that. I don't know. Everybody in this game is on DK and Darren Waller. I don't have a problem with it. If I want to take somebody to catch passes for that Giants team, I think it's going to have to be Waller, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I think this is a time where we get at least close to that 100-yard game, one of them.
Okay. Well, I also like a square Kenneth Walker less than 14.5 rush attempts, which I'm not sure why that's even up. And it's also looking like it's free. Would you be okay with taking that less than?
I just don't know that Gino's going to be incredible today. I'll be honest with you. So they might have to. They might have to utilize him a little bit.
Okay. You want to go Waller receiving yards?
Yeah, I'm down to go with that.
All right, chat. We're going to go 3 plays, 3 winners, and this is going to be a quick vote. Only 3 plays for the squad ride. We'll get them up. Giants +2. DJ more than 230.5 pass yards. And we'll go Darren Waller more than 48.5 receiving yards. All right. 3 plays, 3 winners. We're doing a rapid-fire squad ride vote here, folks. Get your votes in. Hurry up. Go, 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 go. We've got 3 votes to get in, and you've got 1 minute to do it. 3 plays, 3 winners. Giants +2. DJ over 230.5 pass yards. And we got Warner more than 48.5 yards as well. It ain't much, but it's honest work today, Javon. Let's keep dialed, and let's keep finding winners for the people with only 1 game.
Yep, got to.
Must. All right, chat. 3 plays, 3 winners. Hurry up, get them in. You got 30 seconds to get your votes in, and we're going to go ahead and call it. I'm hoping it's the Giants, but I wouldn't mind taking Waller either. I really don't see a world where the Big Blue don't cover and win this game tonight. I'm a big fan. Maybe I'm just feeling confident after winning every single bet this weekend. But I like the Big Blue tonight. It's so nasty. It just might work, Javon.
Just might. Really just might.
Just might work. It's going to be tough down the stretch. We got a tie right now, folks. Hurry up. Get your votes in. You got 3 seconds. Go, 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 go. Hurry up. Get your votes in. And it's going to be a tie. Javon, I think we just go the G-Man +2, brother.
Yeah, we haven't had too great success taking players. So if we have a choice here to break the tie, we probably got to go Giants.
We'll go Giants, chats, and we'll catch you on here tomorrow for MLB playoffs and NFL preview for the weekend. Okay, chat. Same time, same place tomorrow. A little bit of an earlier start, 12:30 Eastern. But we'll catch you there and stick around for the Surge stream. Rumor has it, Trent might be back.
So we're saying.
Stick around, chats. Surge stream starting up right now.